Are you applying to your dream universities and staring into the blank sheet of the paper and wondering how to get that winning, mind-blowing SOP that the admission committee is looking for? Then you're in the right place, because in this video, I'm going to share 3 main tips that will give a massive edge to your applications and position you in a more winning position. So let's get on with it. And we have a very special bonus tip at the end, in which I'm going to share something that very few people know about the admission committee. So keep on watching to get to that part. Hey guys, this is Nishtha from scholarstrategy.com. We are the leading career coaching and study abroad consulting service, and we have helped more than 600 people in last 6 years or so. I myself studied and did my master's from top universities like UIUC and NYU, and our clients have headed to places like Stanford, Harvard, MIT, and all the leading schools in US and abroad. So in this video and in our channel, I basically share the strategy and tips that helped me get into those schools, as well as what is helping our client constantly crack these kind of top schools. If you're new here, please hit on the subscribe button, because we have a lot of good stuff coming. And if you find this video to be useful, please don't forget to hit the like button at the end. So let's get into the main topic now. SOP is something that gives nightmares and sleepless nights to a lot of candidates, because everyone is like, what are we supposed to write into it? Is it an essay? Is it a personal statement? Are they looking into my technical expertise or what? So let's talk about all those things. And here's what I found to be super helpful. And this is the advice that I consistently shared with my clients over the last 6 years. And as the results show that something is definitely working. So I'm going to share the same advice with you all, hoping that you can use it to put up absolutely a cracker of an application this year. So let's get into it. The tip number one is SOP is not a resume. SOP is not a resume. So many people mistake that, they just make SOP a verbose form of their resume, so that they would cover all the projects they have done. They would talk about their awards, accomplishment, extracurriculars, but it does not tell me anything beyond that. So this is absolutely, if you're doing this, then you're wasting a massive opportunity, because they can see your marks, your grades, and other things about your profile in other aspects of the application. SOP is the only place where you can talk about your own story, where you can talk about yourself as a human being, what motivates you, why you do things, how things have shaped your interests in life. There is no other place in the application to do this. So this is a valuable opportunity for you to tell your story, right? So the way I look at SOP is it should be a strong mix of showing your expertise in the area that you're applying. Plus, it should have a good component of a personal story, something that shows me the face behind this application and who is this guy who is applying to this program, right? So in the SOP, you don't want to talk just about technical stuff, but also personal stuff. You just don't want to talk about what is it that you are applying to, what is it that you want to do, but why do you want to do this, and how you're going to achieve it. Right? So just remember this, that SOP is a lot more than resume, and everything, all your factual information should be backed by a person who's writing this application. So for example, someone can talk about how they have started a club in their college, or how they started an app or a company in the college, and how they grew it and what did they learn from it. It could be a small project. It was not necessarily a massive success, but still, what did they gather from it, and how has it shaped their interests going forward? That is pretty important. Similarly, think of the projects, right? When you're describing the project, it's not just what you did. For example, if you created an app, it's not only the languages or the technologies that you used, but why did you pick this project? What was the motivation behind it? I would even love to see what are the kind of challenges you overcame in the course of that project. Did you achieve your results, or what did you learn from it? So these are all the things that I cannot see in the resume. So I would love to see those kind of details in the SOP. I remember this candidate who got into MIT, and she wrote a personal story of how she was one of the first females in her family to go abroad and pursue such a high career, and how that motivates her to promote the cause of women all across the world, including the STEM careers. And then she related it to a club at MIT that she would like to be a part of and contribute to, which followed or which promoted women in STEM fields. So this is a perfect example of how you use something in your personal journey as a motive in your SOP, and highlight how that has shaped how you think and how you would like to contribute back to this particular school. All right, let's get into the second point, which is edit, edit, edit. Many people make the mistake that they think that their writing is extremely good and they have a stellar profile, so they can just put up a SOP in last week or so and just apply. The thing with the SOP is that it takes time. It takes time to evolve and develop flavors. So no matter how good a writer you are, or how good your profile is, you should always have at least few weeks in which you can keep editing, iterating over your SOP, and also get an expert opinion on feedback, maybe from your seniors or maybe from a professional consultant, about what's working and what's not. The thing is, when we are writing something, we are so much a part of it that we lose that external perspective, that is it addressing all the things that it should be, and stuff like that. So I highly recommend get someone else's opinion on how good your SOP is looking. Take the feedback into account, edit, trim out the redundant stuff, and you'll be surprised if you do a good job. Then from the first draft to the last draft, I've seen a massive transformation in our clients' SOP, and usually those are the ones that really make it to these top schools, who take time to let their SOP shine over multiple iterations. My third tip is have clear goals, and this is not something you may have heard of in a lot of places, but I truly believe in it. Have clear and articulate goal in your SOP, and mention a clear reason why you want to go for a master's, or how masters will help you in achieving that goal. Because think of it from the perspective of admission committee, right? They are looking for potential winners, people who are going to be super successful in their careers later on. And how can you be successful if you don't even know what you are trying to do in life, right? So having clear goals tells them that you are more prepared for what's to come, and that you're more likely to achieve that goal, because we can only achieve something that we have set as a goal in the first place. Another mistake I see in this area is people talk about industry goals, people talk about research goals, and they confuse everything. In one place, they are showing a deep interest in research, and another place they are saying, I want to go back to industry. So don't be confusing, because if your goal is clear, then keep it consistent throughout your application. So my short but very effective tip is have clear goals in your SOP. And it should directly be relevant to this program that you're applying to. So for example, if you're applying to a MS in electrical engineer, then a goal like I want to be a VLSI engineer makes sense. But a goal like I want to be a project manager may not make sense with this program you're applying to. So always the goal has to make sense with what you're applying to and what your background is. So that's my third tip. Okay, and now, as I promised, here is the bonus thing that many people don't understand. Often you will see that they say, write the why university paragraph very, very carefully and in a nice manner. You want to show to the university that you're really interested in them, and that how you will contribute back to the class. And many people don't understand why it's so important. So let me tell you why. There's a thing called yield, okay, which all the graduate schools or all the universities will track. And yield is the percentage of people who accept the admission out of the total admits that they were given out. And yield is a very important statistic for the universities because it has a direct bearing on their rankings and all. So they want their yield to be as high as possible, which means they want to extend admits to only those people who are likely to accept the admit. So when you write the why this university paragraph very clearly and passionately, it shows to them that, hey, this person is really interested in our school, and if we give him an admit, he's more likely to accept it. And that's a comforting thing for them to know. And so that's the whole reason why we say, like, write why this university paragraph thoughtfully, and don't just copy paste the information. So that's the bonus tip. Once you understand that, you want to spend enough time on the website of this university and write why this university paragraph in a more meaningful manner. Cool. So a quick summary, the 3 main things that will make a lot of difference to your SOP. One is SOP is not a resume. Please have a good balance of technical as well as a personal story in your SOP. Second thing is have time to edit, iterate over your SOP, and don't try to rush it in one go. And third tip is have clear goals that make sense with the program that you're applying to. And that's it, guys. If you just do those 3 things, believe me, your SOP is going to look much better than other candidates' SOPs out there. So if you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel because we have more useful stuff coming around. In our blog, we have covered around 10 tips about SOP writing and also the mistakes that you should absolutely avoid. I'm mentioning those links in the description box below, so you can just click on it and read it in more detail. We have also included like sample SOP of people who have gotten into good schools on our blog. I'm also going to mention that link, so you can download a sample SOP for engineers applying to programs like computer science and all. Great. So that's it from my side. I hope the video was useful, and I will see you next time. So until then, take care and bye.